Good morning, Carmel Catholic. I'm Nathan Deverpolly, and on the show today we have current events, Ducks with Andy Salto, Sawyer and JM on instrument concert, Ashley Harrison on strings, weather, and announcements.
Good morning, Carmel Catholic. You're watching Current Events. First things first, Canada's governing Liberal Party, led by Prime Minister Mark Carney, has won the national elections for a fourth term in a remarkable comeback. Carney beat opposition Conservative Party leader Pierre Poilievre on Monday after millions of people voted in snap elections dominated by the big question, which candidate can better handle Trump, who slapped tariffs and threatened to annex Canada? Supporters say Carney's global experience would benefit Canada, especially in uncertain economic times. They see him as a unifying voice who understands the challenges of inflation, housing, and climate change. As speculation continues, Carney hasn't confirmed any intentions to seek elected office. For now, he remains a high-profile voice, but whether he will formally represent Canadians in the future is still an open question. But some critics caution against reading too much into his credentials. They argue his elite background in banking may not align with the lived realities of many Canadians, particularly those outside major financial hubs. Next up, just on Monday, a car crash killed 4 in Illinois. At about 3:20 p.m. in Chatham in an after-school camp located in suburban Springfield, Illinois, a car crashed through the camp. The vehicle went all the way through one wall and out the other, injuring and killing several. All of the 4 people killed are believed to be between 4 and 18 years old. Investigators have not yet released any information regarding the crash, but the driver was known to be alone at the time of the crash and is currently uninjured. Finally, it's time to rock out. We now know the names of the artists who will be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame later this year. A total of 7 artists are part of this year's class. They are Chubby Checker, Cyndi Lauper, Outkast, Soundgarden, The White Stripes, Bad Company, and Joe Cocker. The induction ceremony will take place in Los Angeles in November. Artists become eligible for nomination if it has been at least 25 years since they released their first commercial recording. That's all we have for current events. Next up is Ducks with Andy Salto.
Welcome back. I'm Maggie McConville here with Andy Salto to talk about ducks in the Circle of Friends garden. So the Circle of Friends garden is closed off, right?
Yeah. So right now there's a nest, a duck mallard nest, in the Circle of Friends garden with about 8 eggs in it, and we have decided to close it off for the safety of the ducks and the eggs.
Yeah, and I understand you were like a big part of that, right? You emailed Mrs. French, Dr. Algram on this talk, and really got that starting. I think that's really cool that like you were able to make such positive change with like a simple email. Will you tell me a little bit about how the duck nest was discovered?
Yeah, so the duck nest was discovered by Mrs. Hawk and her class, her choir class, and they named the duck Melody because, choir, and I think it's really, really cute. So yeah, I think it's like very important that Melody and her ducks are like protected. And yeah, so Mrs. Hawk also did some investigation into like how much time they've been there and like when they would hatch. And so we kind of estimated that the eggs would be hatched around graduation. So that means that the ducks will be able to learn how to fly during the summer. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. Is there anything that the general student body could do to help either protect the eggs or get involved in just raising awareness?
Yeah, so today after school, Animal Education Club is meeting in Ms. Butcher's room in SC2 to make some posters to hang around the doors that lead into the Circle of Friends garden so that we can kind of like, raise awareness that there's ducks in the courtyard, and we just really don't want to disrupt the natural process of the incubation period, and we don't want to scare the Melody away, because scaring Melody away would also lead to the eggs being incubated not incorrectly, or it could scare her away permanently. So staying away from the nest is something that we can do that would really benefit the eggs.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for coming on with me today.
Thank you for having me.
CDN News will be right back.
Hi, I'm Sawyer, and I'm here to talk about the instrumental concert tonight. It is at 7 p.m. in the auditorium. Admission is free. So, the people who will be playing there are the strings ensemble and concert band and wind ensemble. So, I'm here to talk about a little bit about concert band and wind ensemble. So, concert band is our lower level band class, and they play a total of, I believe, 3 songs or 4, I could be wrong. And then our wind ensemble is playing a total of 4 songs with 4 movements in the first piece, which I think is really cool. So we're going to be commemorating quite a bit of seniors for wind ensemble. And next up, we're going to be talking about strings.
Welcome back. I am still Maggie McConville here with Ashley Harrison and Bomi Kim. So you guys are in strings, right? Talk to me a little bit about how long you've been in strings, how you got started.
Yeah, so I started strings my freshman year, so this is my 4th year on strings. And for violin, I've been playing it since 2nd grade, so this is my 10th year. And as I got older, I found myself having trouble finding time outside of class to, spend time on my hobby. And I felt like strings would be a great opportunity for me to just practice my violin skills.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you guys are both involved in a lot of things other than strings. What makes strings like different or special or like unique to you?
I would say for me personally, just like every morning since we like get together and stuff like that, it's just like a happy family, and I just feel like we all can connect, and even though it is so early, we kind of just have that like bond and we understand each other. And I just feel like getting away from like school and stuff like that, it can be so stressful. But like personally, when I do music, I just feel so like free in a way, and it brings me so much joy.
That's awesome. And then I understand that you guys have had a number of different conductors over the years. How do you think that that's affected your guys' like musical ability?
Yeah, so every conductor has their own strengths, and I feel like as students we get to learn those strengths from them. So at first it's really hard to adapt to those different styles, but as time goes I feel like we're pretty good at adapting and learning from them.
That's awesome. And then you have a concert tonight, right? We heard a little bit from Sawyer about what you're doing, but do you want to tell me a little bit more?
Yeah, so tonight we are going to be playing 3 pieces. We do have a jazz part that we are doing a collab with, so come and see that. It's really fun. But yes, tonight, 7 o'clock, be there. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yes. And then obviously it's the last concert, so do you guys have any special ways to recognize the seniors or any traditions?
I do want to give a shout out to Anna, Ainsley, and Bomi. They're our seniors, and it's been such a great time with all of you guys, and we're truly going to miss you guys. You've been such a great part of the group and stuff like that. So shout out to them. We do always like pray and stuff before, and
Yeah, and shout out to the upperclassmen who have graduated. There's a phrase that we got from them, and it's potatoes with eyes. So I get really nervous before concerts, so I like go around shouting that phrase to everyone. So the audience are just potatoes with eyes, so don't be nervous. And I'm the one who's always nervous.
Yeah. Well, you guys can come be potatoes with eyes in the audience at 7 p.m. tonight. See strings, see all the other performances. CDN News will be right back.
Good morning, Carmel Catholic. It is time for the weather. In the Chicago area, storms are possible in the evening into the overnight hours. The greatest threat is in the northwest Illinois, where tornadoes and hails are possible. If storms are to develop, they could pose threat to Lake County. Storms will weaken as they cross northern Illinois, likely hitting us in the late evening. Overall, system poses the biggest threat to the northern Iowa and southern Minnesota, with all hazards possible. This comes after a string of severe weather impacted West Texas, bringing very large hail, tornadoes, and winds. This is all for the weather for today. CDN News will be right back.
Welcome back, Carmel. I'm Nathan Deverpoli. Let's get into some announcements. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Welcome back. Let's do some announcements. Be a part of something special and feel like a star on the Carmel stage. If you love to sing and dance and you want to make friends with students from all over the school, you should audition for the 2026 Street Scene Student Show. Auditions take place on Wednesday, May 7th, and are open to current Carmel freshmen, sophomores, and juniors. Snap a picture of the QR code on the posters around the school for more information, or join the Google Classroom code using the code 3JR7SJJV. The French Club will be meeting after school on Wednesday, March 30th, in room 208. They will be making paper flowers and having snacks. That's all for today, Carmel. Have a terrific Tuesday.